Hello everyone, welcome to the Matter Critic. This is Matthew Way. In this episode of the Matter Critic, I'll be viewing and analyzing Joe Pickett Season 1 that's currently on Paramount Plus. I'll go over some topics in this episode. I'll also make comparisons to the book and let you know if it is faithful to the original text of Joe Pickett. The first season is based on Open Season, which is the first book of the Joe Pickett book series. The original book came out in 2001. The original book had references to Jay Leno, who is retired now from doing late night shows. Jay Leno took over Johnny Carson, who did The Tonight Show. The season will begin with Joe Pickett writing a ticket to Oak Keeley and Oak taking his weapon. Oak Keeley will be found dead in his yard with a cooler. I'll give you my rating in the review. I hope this episode will inspire you to read, watch, and learn. I want to thank Antonio, Ken, and Peter for becoming patrons on my Patreon page, as this helps to support the channel and means a lot to me as well. It's not the amount of how much I may make, it's the idea that someone believes in what this channel is about and wants to support it. Please help by signing up for Patreon like Antonio, Ken, and Peter, or YouTube members. You'll say to me that you believe in this channel and you want it to thrive and keep it independent. You can sign up for Patreon at $1 a month, $5 a month, $10 a month, $20 a month, or as high as $30 a month. For YouTube members, you can sign up at $3.99 a month, $9.99 a month, $24.98 a month, and you can go as high as $49.99 a month. Thank you. Now on the review. As mentioned earlier in this review, Oak Keeley took Joe Pickett's gun when he was writing a citation for killing an elk. Joe gets the weapon back and he was so frustrated that he was tempted to shoot Oak Keeley, but he does not. He writes him the ticket and Oak Keeley must find a way to get his license back. As Joe Pickett tells Oak Keeley, you must give the mother a chance to birth her offspring before you kill it. This only makes sense. If you need it for food, this is the best way to go about it. You need that offspring to be born so that the circle of life can continue. Yes, that reference can be found in The Lion King. If you're asking, is this accurate to the book? What happens with Oak taking Joe's gun and Joe having to get it back is in the book. The audience will meet Vern Duncan, who was the gang warden before Joe Pickett. And at first, the audience will believe Vern to be a good guy. Vern looks like he's on Joe's Pickett's side and he wants to only the best for Joe Pickett. Later, as the scene progresses, Vern shows his true colors and he is more interested in making money than doing what is right. This is accurate to the book as Vern was like this in the book. The audience will meet Joe Pickett's kids, Sheridan and Lucy Pickett. They are good kids and I personally would want them as my kids. They are the type of children that play well with each other. Sheridan asks Lucy to please not tell her parents or anyone else about the animals in the woodpile. Yes, if you are asking, this is accurate to the book, as Sheridan did ask Lucy to keep them a secret. Sheridan fears that if anyone knows about her pets, they will die. She lost goldfish and dogs. I personally do not know if it is true because we all have pets that die. I had plenty of pets that died, and some of that had to do with either them getting old or someone intentionally killing them. It is unfortunate when that happens, but personally I would not trade the love I have gotten from them and what it taught me as well. My cats have helped me to be a better person as I've learned to love them, and in return they love me in the best way they can. Albus, one of my two cats, usually must check on me in the morning to make sure I'm still here, and he likes to come in my room to spend time with me. Yes, I may have to get up a little earlier than I would like, but I would never trade that time for anything else. It is a good time because I realize he loves me, and I love him. Trudy usually greets me when I get home, no matter what it is, and Albus will do this occasionally. This is why I believe when a person can show love to animals like Sheridan does, it helps to humanize you. It makes a person more capable of loving others. This is a good thing. It makes a person stronger. Before the animals were in the woodpile, Oak Keeley was found dead near Joe Pickett's woodpile that he keeps in his yard. Joe Pickett calls the police, and this will lead the viewer to meeting Sheriff Barnum and Deputy McClanahan. Yes, these two characters are in the first book of Open Season. Sheriff Barnum is not the best of sheriffs as he is more interested in staying in office than solving crimes. Barnum was concerned about losing the election. They both make a joke that Oak Keeley may be bringing a beer. That is what could have been in that cooler. The cooler did not contain beer, it contained something else. It is not to forget the Keeleys have a daughter and her name is April Keeley. And yes, April Keeley is in the first book of Open Season. This makes it accurate to the book of Open Season. April Keeley knows Sheridan Pickett, and she and Sheridan go to the same school. April Keeley's mother, Jean Keeley, is pregnant, and if you're asking, yes, this is accurate to the book of Open Season. April gets made fun of by girls in her school for wearing a coat that one of those girls claimed to have given to a charity. This girl would have been considered as a mean girl. The other girls that were laughing at April would be considered mean girls as well. April later, when she gets home, throws the coat in the trash. Her mother, Jeannie Keeley, finds the coat and tells her daughter that she does not care, she does not want the coat anymore. It is understandable as the Keeleys are living in a trailer park and do not have a lot of money. They are struggling to make ends meet. This is why Oak Keeley needs his hunting license, as this helps to provide for his family. Yes, Oak would not be considered a saint, but he's doing the best he can to help provide for his family. No one can fault him for that. Jean Keeley is struggling with her husband being dead because without her husband, she does not have a way to provide for herself. She is desperate and does not have a lot of money and skills. Saddle Stream is not a place where there are a lot of jobs. It is in a rural area, but unless you work on a farm or you hunt, there are not a lot of opportunities. Do not worry, I have not forgotten about Joe Pickett's wife, Mary Beth Pickett. Mary Beth Pickett is a beautiful woman, and like in the book, she looks good even pregnant. Yes, she is pregnant in the book of Open Season. The book describes her being pregnant and being attractive even when she is pregnant. They will do an ultrasound when Mary Beth Pickett is at her doctor's appointment. The doctor tells Joe Pickett that it is a boy. The viewer will meet Nate Romanowski. I do not remember him being in the first book, but I could have missed that part when I was listening to the audio version of this book. This is a change to the book, but it works. It's good to see how Joe Pickett meets Nate Romanowski, and as Nate Romanowski will tell Joe in the audience, he was set up by the actual killer of Old Keeley. Nate Romanowski uses a compound bow, and it appeared to Sheriff Barnum and Deputy McClanahan that he is the killer. There is one thing that does not make sense. The area was tipped with poison, and if they did a complete search, they would find that he does not have any type of poison like that in his living space. Joe Pickett will go with Wasey and Deputy McClanahan up to the mountain to find the answers to the murder of Old Keeley. It will appear to the viewer that the answer is there, but it will not be so. They will lose their horses. Deputy McClanahan will shoot his gun off, and it will cause the horses to be scared. This was a stupid move, as they had to go up on foot on that mountain and spend the night outdoors. Yes, this is accurate to the book. Mary Beth Pickett will meet with Nate Romanowski and tell him, if you sent my husband up there to die, I promise you will regret hearing the name of Pickett. This proves to the viewer that Mary Beth Pickett is not a woman to be messed with. She is a strong woman who does not take any flat from anyone. Joe Pickett with Wasey and Deputy McClanahan get up the mountain and find Clive Whitgard, who, if you're asking, is in the first book of Open Season. Yes, he gets shot, and Joe Pickett must shoot him before he shoots Wasey, Deputy McClanahan, or herself. When a person has a gun, that training tells you to use deadly force before you become a victim yourself. This makes sense. Sheriff Barnum will fly up there with a helicopter, and Joe Pickett with Wasey and Deputy McClanahan will be able to get out of that situation. Joe Pickett will be in the hospital as he was shot and needs to be tended to. Mary Beth Pickett will go to the hospital and find out her husband is okay. Joe Pickett will be met by Vernon Dunnigan by his bed, and yes, this has happened in the first book of Open Season. Mary Beth is frustrated with Joe, not because she does not love him, but because she does love him. She was afraid of losing him. The series will progress with Clive Whitgard's trailer being exploded, with Joe Pickett and Mary Beth Pickett being there. This is a change to the original book because Joe Pickett was alone in the trailer and lost his gun. This is a good change because person like Mary Beth being with him and helping him to find the truth. Mary Beth Pickett will tell Nate Romanowski that she will step down as his attorney. He tells her, I understand that you are scared, but I am fighting for my life here. Doing the right thing is not easy. The series will progress with Mary Beth Pickett representing Nate Romanowski and trying to get the charges dismissed by the court. A person who claims to be with the U.S. Marshals trying to get Nate Romanowski so that he can kill him. Nate must tie Mary Beth Pickett up and escape out the window to protect her and himself from this man. The fake U.S. Marshal will try to kill the female deputy that was overseeing Nate Romanowski while he was in jail. She fed him food that he could eat. He could not eat the food that was hard. Nate Romanowski will rescue her from this man and kill him. She knew that Nate had to be a government operative because he burned off his fingerprints. She lets Nate go knowing that he could not be the killer of Old Keeley, since guilty men do not come back to rescue someone if that person is guilty. Joe Pickett will meet Les Epbar, who is the head of game wardens and is wanting to suspend Joe Pickett for losing his gun to Old Keeley. He wonders how this could happen. As Joe explained to Les Epbar, he was writing a citation to Old Keeley and explained to him that it is easier than you think. To prove Joe's point, he took his name tag from Les Epbar that is easier than you think. Joe gets suspended, and as in the book, this is a Joe, as this does not give Joe a chance to have his case heard by anyone else. Wasey will offer up the Kissinger house for the Picketts to stay at. If you are asking, no, I did not forget that Wasey threatened Sheridan that he knows about her animals in the woodpile. It does threaten her that he will kill her family, not just her if she tells anyone about them. She is scared, to say the least. She has nightmares, which are understandable. If any person were frightened like she was, no matter your age, you would be scared not for yourself, but those you care about. Missy, Mary Beth's mother, is a user, and she believes that it is her right to live in luxury. She takes the most expensive wine while she is a guest in the Kinsinger house. Joe Pickett will go up to the mountain to find out with Nate he needs to prove that the Miller's weasel do exist. He does this after Mary Beth Pickett told him what he was feeling was bullshit. She told him, "You cannot believe that." She told him to keep fighting the good fight. This is what Joe is doing. He goes up the mountain, which is narrow, and that is not an easy thing for the horse to navigate. That is accurate to the book. The change with Nate works in the show as it made it so Joe did not have to do this alone. Nate tells Joe, "The uniform does not make the man makes the uniform. If you're not a man of character, the uniform means nothing unless you are a person of character to begin with." Joe will figure out with the pictures from Clive Licker that Wasey is the killer and that the conspiracy to cover this has a bunch of actors involved. Sheridan and Mary Beth Pickett will go back to their house as Sheridan tells her mother that she needs to get her book for a class she needs to finish a school assignment. This will lead to Mary Beth being shot by Wasey. She tells Sheridan to run after that happens. Wasey will be upset with her, claiming it was her fault when he was the idiot that shot her in the first place. Mary Beth Pickett will later escape and must crash a car in a shed to get someone to call 911. She is taken to Billings, Montana, that has a hospital that can treat her. As a result, she loses the baby. It is not revealed, nothing more revealed here. It does bring the viewer to the climax of Season 1 and Season 2. I'll give him a rating. I give Joe Pickett Season 1 a 10 out of 10. It was fun, but helps the viewer to understand how bad greed is. The other players in the story are the Scards, as they are corrupt, rich people that want to get richer, and like Vern Dunnigan and Wasey, do not care who they hurt if they get what they want. Jeannie Killer does leave April as she was desperate, and she would be on the run and fear for her life as well as April's. What happened, speaking of April? Please leave your answer in the comments section below. There are changes to the original book of every season, but they work as the story flowed well, and the essence of the original story remains in this season. Does Sheridan survive? Please leave your answer in the comment section below. The reason I mentioned greed before, you can watch the Dope 6 series review, which was the first video review of my channel. You can click on this link to the playlist of the Dope 6 series reviews. I said in one of those reviews that greed is the worst sin, and that, like Sacklers, the people such as Vern Duncan, Wasey, the Scars do not care about who they hurt if they get their pipelines so they can all become rich, in Wasey's case, to become sheriff. This is a danger bringing as the story proves. Wasey wanted to be sheriff, and doing what it took to be sheriff is very similar to Sebastian Blood in Season 2 of Arrow, when he was willing to do whatever it took to become mayor, when he decided to work with Slade Wilson, not fully understanding what Slade wanted to do. What rating do you give Joe Pickett Season 1? Please leave your answer in the comment section below. Thank you. Please consider going to my store of matacredit.com and get your own set of merchandise today. You can also check out my blog while you're on my website. You can also click the Patreon link on my website and support me that way. Thank you. Please click on this card to watch my review of Dope Sick Episode 7. Thank you. Please like this video if you found it helpful. Please subscribe to my channel. Please hit the notification bell to be notified of any videos at the bottom of this video. Please let me know cover down the road in the comment section below. Please share this video and you know it's my channel can grow. Remember, do not forget to read, watch, and learn. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye.